My name is Ricci. I am 27 and I am from Caracas, Venezuela. My background in the kitchen or culinary, I would say, that mainly comes from my roots, my culture, my South American Venezuelan food. My mom, and my two grandmas, and this mix of Latin American, South American, Caribbean tropical food, if you like to call it, and Italian food combined makes me what I am today and what I love to cook, and all these things I've learned and all these dishes and different types of cuisine that I grew up with make me who I am today. I've been cooking since I first moved here, so when I was around 12, 13 years old. Ever since I lost the fear of the kitchen because I was afraid of the fire or the heat or the oven or the knives. So after I overcame that, which was when I was probably around 13, 14, when I started being a young adult, I guess. In my early teens, I started cooking. I haven't taken any cooking classes, but I think that the best classroom is the kitchen, and my best teachers have been my family, the ladies of my family that teach me, no, you're doing that wrong, no, you don't put that into the cook yet, or you're too disorganized, or wash your hands, or I think that's been the best instruction in my cooking experience. But I would definitely like to take some cooking classes to expand my knowledge and technique, definitely. My favorite plate to cook is pasta, if I were to generalize it or to give you a broad answer, because pasta is, you can make pasta salad, which is cold. You can make so many different types of pasta dishes, so many sauces. And pasta, everyone likes pasta, you know? So I think pasta is amazing and I love it, and it's my favorite thing. My dad's side of the family, my grandmother is Italian, so that's why I say pasta is my favorite dish, because every time I'm with her, every day they eat pasta. When I want to do something that I've never prepared before, I like to go by the recipe, because it gives you a foundation that you can follow, and the good part is that you can always improvise and you can add more things to the recipe or make it a different way. But my mom, for example, that she's one of the biggest inspirations with food. I rarely see her cooking with a recipe, because she knows everything by measures, like by touch and by taste. So I've gone ahead, and same with my grandmother, which is also a big example and inspiration in this passion that I have. They do a lot of the cooking by feel, by measures that they already know by the touch. So I would say that if I'm doing something that I've never done before, I would definitely go with the recipe. But if I know how to make it, or if I've made it so many times before, I just go by taste and by eye with it. The largest crowd that I've cooked for would be my family. We're a large family. We're 7 people right now in my house. So if I were to cook for them, a lunch or dinner would include a big meal, because we have to feed a lot of us, and most of us eat a lot. So that's probably the largest crowd that I've fed. My family definitely supports my cooking. My mom would like for me to help her in the kitchen more. My dad has really good taste, and he's very sensitive to flavors and taste. So he definitely critiques and supports the way I handle food, and he always critiques it in a way that makes me learn and They definitely support me when I cook, and my friends. Many times where we've had gatherings where we eat and we cook for fun, and just they always tell me that I should pursue it, or that they really like the food. So yeah. I started developing a passion for cooking when I discovered that by feeding someone and going through all this preparation and all this work, and then giving them a plate which they can visually and internally enjoy, makes me feel good. You know, I like when people eat something that I made, and I like seeing their reaction, and I like the whole process of beginning preparation, making the meal, serving it, and the after, where we discuss, or there's like a comment where they say, oh, it was good, but you should have done this, or I really liked it, is there any more? I think that at the end of the day, or at the end of the process, fulfills my whole process. Both my grandma and my mom always prepared delicious food, and they always have to feed a lot of people, so to see them in the kitchen and to always be around a hot stove or a kitchen full of ingredients or plates, and just picking and being around it, I think that influenced me a lot. The best cook that I know is definitely my mother, because she learned from her mother, and she learned from her mother-in-law, my dad's mother. So she has a lot of experience feeding a large family, and she has very good taste. I can never complain with her cooking. She always knows how to make dishes that fulfill people and comfort food that makes them feel good. But also because she's also very good, because she can do from pastries to soups to barbecue to sushi. She can make any, like, she knows so many different cuisines that I think it makes her a complete cook and my biggest role model. The ingredient that I don't like using, I don't like using salt at all. I barely use salt. My dad has a very low tolerance for salt, and he's very picky with salty food. And I've personally have developed a strong palate, so I can tell when something's salty or something is spicy. So I try to use salt the least I can. So you can always add more salt if the food is not flavorful enough, but that wouldn't be successful. So I think salt can be avoided, and there's some things that you can add to a meal or to a plate that is salty in nature, so you wouldn't have to add salt to it. A cooking disaster, one time I was with a friend, and we were trying to make food. We were trying to make pasta, like a carbonara, and being new at it, instead of putting the eggs at the end to mix with the sauce, we put it in the stove when the sauce was being cooked. So the pan was hot, the sauce was hot, so the egg got cooked. So we had like a pasta with scrambled egg sauce, and it wasn't that great. So that was kind of disastrous. I would definitely want to be a better cook. I would want to grow in the field, and as a broader goal, I think at some point I like food because you're feeding people, and I think that's a gift, and I want to be able to feed a lot of people. So a lot of people in the world are hungry. A lot of people in the world go to sleep without the necessary meals to go through their day. So I don't know if I want to do something philanthropic like that, but I definitely think it's an issue that would definitely serve as a fuel for improvement in the area. But I also think that having a place, coming up with a menu or with the recipes that are mine would definitely be goal enough, or it would be rewarding to come up with something like that and look at people and their reactions when they see and taste things that I've created. Whoa, what the hell is this?
The makeup lady. Where's my fucking cup?
I need a retouch.